Esty here, and I wanted to pop on and talk about women who work out a ton and not getting any sort of progress, not getting any progress at all in terms of results or weight loss or being able to feel like you can really build muscle and burn fat. And you're like, God, I'm working so hard. Why isn't this happening for me? What's going on in my body and system? We're going to talk about that and the hormonal shift and change behind this. So this is where women get completely frustrated with their bodies, completely frustrated thinking, I have been doing this. I have been, consistent. I have been working out. I mean, maybe I haven't been perfect, but I really have been doing things. Or I've been working out forever and all of a sudden my body's totally different. What the heck? Why am I not seeing these results? Things are getting worse. I'm even gaining weight. What? I don't understand. How can this happen, right? How can this happen? And then how can I turn this ship around, right? We're going to talk about hormones here. This is a really, really big factor in really getting the right results here. First thing to realize is that the way the female body responds to stressors, hormone changes, things like that is completely different than the male body. So if you have been doing things that are right? I've been doing all the right things. And it's not really making an effect in your system. It's not that you're doing it wrong. It's just that your body might be struggling with something that's not being supported to help get you the right results. So this is where it's really important to notice that your system needs to build muscle in order to burn fat. You need to have a certain layer of muscle tissue, lean muscle tissue, to have a certain metabolic rate. You don't need to get big. You don't need to get bulky. You don't need to be like hulked out. Rawr. No, you just need to have a certain amount of muscle there to make sure that your system can actually burn fat. The female body has a tougher time burning fat. Our systems are not designed to be in fat burning all day. So anytime you do a workout or things like that, you want to get to fat burning and stay there as long as possible. The muscle tissue that you have in your system helps support that. So if you're wondering about these hormonal changes, I'm going to put this down here right now before I forget. This is a link to a Dutch test where we test your comprehensive hormones here, and I'll show you what this looks like in just a minute. But this is really, really important to look at for your system. This is more than just looking at your macros. This is more than just looking at, are you doing enough of this? Or are you lifting heavier or whatever, right? It's how is your body actually functioning? And the female body is so much more complicated and dynamic than the male body. So it takes a lot more. It takes a bigger view of what you're looking at to see if all the things that you're doing are actually leading you toward the right results. So here we go. When we look at your hormones and we look at Dutch tests, we're looking at a lot of different hormones here. Estrogens, progesterones, testosterones, cortisol levels, and these are the main hormones here that are going to really help your system build muscle. Estrogen is the main muscle building hormone. This is also important for women who have been through perimenopause, menopause, if you're on a birth control. Those of you on a birth control of some kind, estrogen levels can change, which means your body has a harder time building lean muscle. Yeah, what does that mean? Yes. So estrogen plays a huge role in that, okay? Estrogen is a big deal for that. Testosterone also helps with that. So even if your system, is on a birth control or you've been through perimenopause, testosterone should still be there in enough of a level to help your system build lean muscle, right? Now, cortisol is also really, really important because if your cortisol levels are too high or too low, your system also cannot build lean muscle. So without that muscle building, you're not going to have energy, you're not going to have stamina, you're not going to have recovery from workout. And again, from there, you're not going to be able to get to and stay in a fat burning. Now again, what are some other hormones that also just lead to more fat storage? Estrogen. Increase in estrogen actually means that you're going to create this, more fat cells, more insulin resistance, more weight loss resistance, which means that estrogen then gets created by more fat cells. It's this whole fun cycle. Yeah, that's why it's so important to deal with your estrogen levels and make sure they're proper. Cortisol levels, again, your cortisol, if it's too high or even too low, it can completely shut off your metabolism, really not letting your body burn fat at all. And in fact, I've seen this recently. I did some Dutch reports recently. All these poor gals, I was looking at their reports and I'm like, yeah, your body's not only not building muscle and not burning fat. It's actually eating your muscle to get energy throughout the day. These are things that we can see through the Dutch test as well. Again, go in the comments there, there's a link you can click on. What does all of this mean? It means that even if you're working out 6 days a week, even if you're busting your butt and eating super clean and all this stuff, you're still gonna have weight gain. I know, it's so frustrating. What? Yeah. That's why figuring out where your hormones are at, what your system is doing is such a key integral piece. It's not just about how much you're working out, how many hours a week, how many workouts, how tough you're working out, your heart rate and your food, calorie intake, all that stuff. It's not just about that. It's also about your body, because you can be doing all the perfect things, but if these things are off in your system, you are not going to be getting the results you think you should be getting, because you can't. Your hormones aren't there. So that's where we start. We start with this and then we go from there, making sure that you get the right recommendations for you, for your body, to help take you from where you are to where you want to be. So that's what I got for you guys tonight. Again, link there is in the comments. Other resources I have for you, of course, are my book, The Female Fat Solution, my book, The Female Menopause Solution. These are on Amazon. Great resources for you. My podcast is called The Female Health Solution. And then I have my YouTube channel, which is called Dr. Beth Westy. All great places for you to get more content, to figure out where you need to be. Again, I'm really, really passionate about educating women, not just about where you are, but where you want to go and how to get there in the healthiest, best functioning body possible. So please let me know if you have any other questions. Otherwise, I will see you guys later.